Hi, my name is Andrew Kinnear. I'm the founder of Freebruary. Thanks for joining us for this limited interview series with entrepreneurs from across Canada. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Trisha, and I'm the owner and queen baker at Eat My Shortbread. We're located in Oshawa, and we produce incredibly delicious shortbread-based treats as well as shortbread.
Trisha, it's so great to have you here. I can speak as someone with firsthand experience that your products are delicious. I am addicted to Craic, if that's how you pronounce that. That's one of my favorites. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you today. Let me start with your products. Can you describe all the products that you make and where you make them, how you make them?
Sure. So this, just quickly, a little bit of historical reference. This is a recipe that has been passed down from generations. And when I first tried it, I thought, I can definitely do something with this. I'm a home cook, always been a baker, youngest of 7 kids, making my own birthday cakes from day one. And I knew when I tasted the shortbread for the first time, there's something special about it. So when I created the company a long time ago, I won't give you any numbers, but it was a while ago, I mostly worked out of my home. And but now I'm in a commercial bakery in Oshawa, and we produce shortbread, of course, shortbread based butter tarts, which are incredible.
Yes.
And salted caramel brownies with chunks of shortbread in it. So you understand where I'm going with this. Most of my treats are handmade, nut free, made with real ingredients, local if I can get them. And if I can't, I will make it myself. And so they're the kind of products that you would be happy to bring to a dinner party or give as a gift or pass on to, someone special. And so we make cookies, the brownies, the butter tarts, we make scones. Sometimes I think I should change the name of the company to Eat My Scones in the summertime. We sell so many.
A lot of scones.
A lot of scones. And of course, the shortbread.
That's amazing. And you know what? I can speak as, again, someone who's eaten some of these delicious treats. They have a homemade feel, even though you say you're in a commercial bakery. They have a texture and just they bring back so much nostalgia of homemade. And I think they would be just as comfortable in like a clamshell at a farmer's market as they are in your beautiful packaging in retail. So can you tell me how you went from, you're baking, everything's, as it is, to, beautiful packaging, retail approach? You're in a lot of stores. Tell us a bit about that journey.
Like so many small businesses, grassroots businesses, I started at the local farmers market. I started, hustling and pushing my product to small cafes in the area. And all the while having a vision for the company, knowing that this is something that I could bring national, eventually international, because the recipe, the products, they speak for themselves. People eat them and then they just go, what is this? Right? Like you said about the Craic, like so many people just go, what am I eating? And I'm like, it's your future, basically. It's so incredible, incredibly delicious. So I started doing it that way, and then quickly realizing, I've had my bricks and mortar store in Oshawa for 7 years. So quickly realizing as I was building that brand in Oshawa with soups and sandwiches and, wanting to just kind of create a cafe and create a really cool space for people to come. And in the back, building the wholesale platform for my business and recognizing one or the other, can't do both. So closing down the savory part of my business, as I like to call it, in 2017, and really focused on beverages and baked goods. And we still do have a retail counter for pickup and a very robust e-commerce site that people order from all the time, and we do delivery and ship across Canada and the US. But my motivation is the drive is there to keep growing the wholesale side and reaching out.
I think you have a huge advantage, which is that physical presence. I know a lot of baked goods startups they sort of start with the idea, they're making it in their kitchen, but then they don't really know where to go. And the jump to a co-packer is tremendous, and usually is the hurdle for a lot of small businesses to just fall apart. So it seems like that dynamic of cafe and bake shop, and then the bake shop grows, and then it sounds like you made a very strategic and smart decision to focus, and yet you still have the infrastructure to do things, as basic as put an order in a box and tape it up and get it ready for the FedEx guy. You need a place to do that. And so having the commercial kitchen, that having your facility bricks and mortar becomes your kind of strategic advantage at the scale that you're at, which is great. I really like that.
And if you'd let me, I'll speak to that for 1 second,
Sure.
Because so many businesses, and I know we're all guilty of this, we want to go from A to Z right away. We want to see that growth, and we want to see the numbers, and we want to scale, and we want to do all this. Like so much in my life, I had to stop myself and take a step back, and just, whether it's strategy, maybe it's just a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of sort of, let's just be cautious here. But it's also a huge component of that is following my instincts and knowing that those incremental steps, that's actually what's going to give me longevity in the industry. And that's what's going to get me from A to B and then B to C. And sometimes, you may skip a couple of letters there because you've got a great team or you've got good networking, which has happened for me, which is amazing with Sobeys. But it's all about recognizing what works for you. And as a small business owner, what is your capacity for that? Because we can quickly burn out. We can burn out our teams. We can burn out our network. So it's really recognizing what pace you need to take. And for me, I didn't have packaging right away. I just got bags from Creative Bag or Uline, and I was doing all that and like hand printing labels and things like that. And you had asked earlier about the packaging, and that had come about because I was able to connect with another local business who is a brand strategist and designer. And she and I worked closely with her team to come up with the rebrand for Eat My Shortbread in 2019 and 2020 that enabled me to have the confidence to step into that larger national stage. And I'm very proud of that packaging, and I'm very proud of my team.
That's a big step.
Yeah. And there's more to come. For me, I recognized I could only do 3 types of packaging. Like I only have 3 SKUs that I sell to the larger retailer. A, because that's all I can afford, and B, I just don't want to saturate the market with Eat My Shortbread yet. I want people to go, I wonder what else they have, right? And go online and take a look.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's another common falter of small businesses is having, too many SKUs right off the bat. People can only eat so much of maybe a certain category. How much are they really going to buy? So you end up cannibalizing yourself with too many SKUs. So that definitely is like one part of it. And then, as you say, like minimum order quantities on packaging can really kill a small business because we're not in the printing business, we're in the food business. And, sometimes a smaller run makes sense for our business, but a minimum order on packaging might be, just way too many. So, and smaller runs for certain things are good when you need to update or make changes, or if you've won an award and you want to somehow put that on your packaging, well, you have to blow through 100,000 bags or whatever before you could even say it. So sometimes finding that smooth scale is really important. So it's good to hear that. That's actually one of my questions is like, what has been the big learning, which you just answered. Why don't you tell me what's next for 2022? Where does Eat My Shortbread go over the next, say, 18 months?
Andrew, for the past 10 years, I've been saying the tagline for Eat My Shortbread is to have a piece of shortbread in the mouth of every Canadian by 2020.
That's amazing.
And then COVID hit. So I switched that up to have a piece of shortbread in the mouth of every Canadian by 2022. So fingers crossed, we're in February and we're in Freebruary, and we've got a few more months to go. So I'm looking for a national distributor. I'm looking for partners who are willing to go at my pace and to kind of meet me where I'm at, but at the same time recognize that I have a vision for the company and where I want to take it and what it means to me. And we're going to be launching with the Bay on their website and their marketplace soon, which is amazing.
Cool.
And then I've got a couple of other things in the works, which is great. And all of these connections that are happening as part of my vision and as part of what I'm asking for, it's all incredible and amazing to me. And I try to just take it in stride, because again, if you bite off more than you can chew, pun intended, then it becomes overwhelming. And then it's a situation where you're paralyzed. We did look at a co-packer or co-manufacturer last year, but it just kind of didn't fit for us. I want to stick to my recipe. I want to be true to the roots of Eat My Shortbread, which is using premium ingredients. I never cut corners. It's so important to me that we're nut-free, peanut-free, sesame seed-free, so that those families that have members that are anaphylactic have the confidence and feeling comfortable to try our product.
Yeah.
So in the future, the next 18 months, I would love to see Eat My Shortbread as a national brand. Well, I will see Eat My Shortbread as a national brand, and also continuing to do a lot of collaborative things. I work with a lot of female-owned businesses. Right now I'm doing a scone with Lucella, which is a sunflower seed spread, a cocoa spread. Yes, it's amazing. So I try to work with a lot of smaller companies, and I produce products for them as well. I want to continue that. I want to continue being creative in my kitchen and I'd like to launch 2 new products this year. So we're at the beginning stages of testing them. Let me know if you want me to send you some.
Yes, please.
And oh my gosh, it's so good. Like I don't eat my products very often. I just kind of bite them, chew them, taste them, and then I spit it out, because I've actually developed a slight allergy to the flour from baking all this time with it. So I don't physically do much of the baking anymore for that reason. But what we are developing is quite delicious so far. So I'm excited about that.
Definitely sign me up for that. I got to tell you, I had a conversation with Elizabeth Burrows from Jules Under the Kilt.
Yeah,
and
she's awesome.
we were talking about some prototype nuts that she's in testing with right now it's a creamsicle flavored almond, like orange vanilla almond.
Oh my God.
It is amazing. She sent me like 3 different little sampler bags to try. And that kind of stuff, having other entrepreneurs who are in the business but maybe aren't food scientists but will give you honest feedback, sometimes that's the benefit of the network, right, that you were mentioning before, which is great to hear. Do you think that there's legs to growing the production side of your business? So the same way that you sort of scaled back the cafe and you focused on the sweet, does the scale of your business ever get to the point where you just keep growing that back end and you're baking for other people and you take over another unit because the volume of Eat My Shortbread, like more from like you already have that physical presence, right? Most, entrepreneurs who are co-packing, scale is basically like how much machine time can I get, or, that kind of thing, versus you can grow physically. I mean, how much does that play into your growth strategy?
I always think about that.
Okay.
Because there is such a need for space, right? For commercial production space for food companies, especially coming within COVID. How many small businesses, food businesses were created within that COVID time? So actually my answer to that, instead of baking for you, what I do have available is a rental kitchen.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's called Rent My Kitchen. I like to keep things really simple. Eat my shortbread, rent my kitchen.
Love it.
And what I've done is I've actually split my space, so it's a locked unit. So my kitchen is completely separate from my packaging and my retail space, and I rent it out when I don't need it because, like most businesses or like some businesses, I'm a last quarter business, so I'm incredibly busy from October to December, and then I'm moderately busy the rest of the year. So
Okay.
I have found that renting out that space meets the need for me to help another person.
Mm,
And yes, it helps with my overhead and all of the other things that I'm doing, but it's me being able to connect with my community and with other entrepreneurs and say, yeah, you can, yeah, it's right here. Sure, use that huge oven, cut your production time in half. And if they need
that's
dry
awesome.
storage or cold storage, yeah, it's been really, really great. And it has provided me a chance to, again, step back from my business a little bit and kind of get a bird's eye view of what I want to do and where I want to go, because
Yes.
right, Rent My Kitchen is kind of doing its own thing over here.
And it
Yeah.
smooths out those spikes and dips, right? Having, a little bit, as you said, you mentioned overhead. Yeah. I mean, just having somebody else, kicking in for rent, essentially, that's outstanding. That's a great strategy for your overall business. And I'm glad that you get to take that bird's eye view. That's really great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't want to forget to ask you this question. Where can people buy this delicious shortbread and your other products?
Yeah. Thank you. So obviously, my bricks and mortar store is located on Boundary Road in Oshawa. I
Okay.
know most people think about Oshawa and they're like, do I need a passport to go there? It's pretty far away, but it's really not too far. From Toronto, it's like 35 minutes or 40 minutes on the highway. So there's that opportunity to come and see us.
Mhm.
I work pretty much every Saturday by myself, so I'm always happy to chat and talk to people and meet them where they're at. And as I say, when they come in, I'm always happy to take your money. It's not a problem. I can take it off your hands.
You have an
And
assortment of products ready to sell to anyone who
oh
walks in
yes,
on a great.
yeah, at any time. And we've got a good variety happening. The difference now, of course, is I used to have a big bakery display and everything would be out and, it would be unpackaged and kind of just out there.
Mhm.
Now, what we do is we started this at the beginning of COVID, is that we produce and we cool and then we package pretty much everything.
Mhm.
And then we freeze it or
Mhm.
we sell it right away.
You can
Because
always
that
crack a
way,
bag too if somebody needs to try something. Better
oh,
to have it
absolutely.
staying as fresh as possible at
That's
peak
right.
performance. So that makes sense.
That's right. So there's that option. And we do a lot of custom orders out of there
Mhm.
as well, whether it's corporate trays or event trays or people coming in just wanting a butter tart fix. Of course, e-commerce is an amazing way to get our products too. So it is, and anyone who is connected to, who sees this video, you can use the code BakeMeHappy10, and that'll give you 10% off your first order.
Great.
So
This video is going to be up forever, so you're going to have to keep that code
oh
active
yes,
forever. Okay.
it's up there. It's up there. And so e-commerce is great. And I'm always updating and putting new things on. If I'm doing a collaborative thing, it's on the website as well. Sobeys across Ontario, but in limited locations, and the same with Foodland. If there is a Foodland or a Sobeys that you want to see the product at, you can go in and ask them. It's listed under grocery, but
Mhm.
sometimes you might find it in bakery. But I'm always encouraging my customers to just step into the store and speak to the manager about it.
Mhm.
I do follow up as much as I can with those stores to get orders, but it's not always the top of the list. A lot of little mom and pop shops have our stuff across the GTA because we're listed with Annex Distribution.
So is
So
there
as far,
on your website, do you have a map or something that has those on there?
I have a list,
Okay. Or a list. Yeah. That
and
works.
yeah, I have a list, and a map is a good idea too. And then people can always contact me. But we're as far as Gananoque, Kingston area
Mhm.
over to Peterborough and West Toronto. And
So people in Ontario shouldn't have an issue getting this product. Freebruary is national, so there are people from Victoria to Bedford, looking at these videos, looking for deals. So the fact that they can go to eatmyshortbread.com, that's the address, eatmyshortbread.com, which I'll put up on the video. That's probably going to be the option for most of the people outside of the GTA. But this is a business that is, the product, as you say, your fourth quarter business. This is a great gift. This is something that you can stick in a box with some other shelf stable things, jams, jellies, and hot sauce or other things that go great together. You jam them all in a box, and there's your holiday gift.
Totally.
So there's a lot of versatility, I guess, to this product. And what about sizes? I don't know when we were talking about the product, is it all I've seen the one size bag. Are there different size bags, or just the 3 SKUs in those sizes?
There's those 3 SKUs, and they actually used to be 175 grams in a package, but unlike other businesses, I actually increased the volume but kept the price the same. So with the new packaging, they're 200 grams, and the gluten-free shortbread bites, the Craic, the salted caramel snack, and then the original shortbread bites. But this year,
200 grams doesn't sound like a lot on a video, but it's actually it's a pretty big bag. It seemed like it was robust.
Yes, very much. And really, the thing with this product is that it's so pure. It sounds like I'm talking about other things, but it's so incredibly delicious that you're not going to eat the whole bag. Andrew, you're not going to eat the whole bag, are you?
No, I'm definitely not going to eat the whole bag. I have to take a piece out, and then I break that piece into smaller pieces and close the bag and put it away. Otherwise, we would have big problems in our house.
Now, if you can order it on the website, but I do sell a family size bag of Craic. And that's
gonna be the snippet. Okay, I'm gonna take that little quote and we're gonna put that on the website everywhere. I sell a family size bag of Craic.
Because people were saying to me, Trisha, I just bought this bag of Craic and I just ate it in the car on the way home. I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry, but I do have a family size bag if the next time you come in.
I love your sense of humor. Even the fact that it says that we call it Craic. I thought it was Craic because of how you spell it. I thought it was some traditional Scottish thing called Craic, and then from the days of the Highlands and kilts and whatnot, bagpipes, but it's Craic. It's like,
well, yeah, it is that. But the story about Craic is that in 2017, we did the Toronto Christmas Market. It's our first massive show. And when my husband had done the production schedule and the sheet for us, the numbers were sort of off, but we just kept going. We just kept producing. We just sell. Well, we didn't sell it all, of course. And we ended up with all the shortbread in January. And I'm like, I've got to do something with it. Right? There's no way I'm not wasting this. And we consistently give to the food bank and the Backdoor Mission in Oshawa, and we're consistently doing that. But this was a lot of shortbread.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I'm going to break it up. I'm going to bake it. And then I'm going to put a salted caramel topping on it. So I invented that product based on Christmas Craic, which for most people would mean that's the saltines in the oven with brown sugar and butter. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's sort of a traditional thing. But I produced it and just went, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Originally had labels that said, ain't your street Craic, legal Craic, as in crack.
Yeah.
And then I'm a former social worker.
Somebody said, maybe not do that.
I had some conversations with some of my customers, and I just went, you know what? I don't want to be that trigger. Yeah. I don't want to be that thing for a family that just kind of, who knows, right? So being sensitive to that and the opioid crisis, I changed the name in conversation with my friend Lisa Hartley, who you also talked to. And her family's Irish. And she said, well, what about Craic? It means fun, good times in Gaelic. And I was like, yeah,
Totally works.
See, now that works.
I love that story. Oh my God.
Right. So it's totally, now you can say, I'm addicted to this crack. I am having to crack a good time, whatever it is. And there's nothing about it that would trigger anybody, as far as we know anyway. But yeah, that I attribute that to Lisa. She's so smart.
So even the name from a friend, and the product itself, inventing the product. I didn't know you invented the product. I thought this was something that was like a known thing. That's amazing.
Thank you. No, I
buried the lead. You're supposed to start with that. I invented a product that everyone loves, and it's called.
I'm new. What can I say? I'm new.
That's okay.
It's, you know what? It's one of those things that it doesn't surprise me, because I think everybody does that. I think everybody who's in small business invents stuff. But I have to tell you, all of the recipes that I have, they're my recipes. Except that original shortbread recipe, which I've taken and made my own.
Sure.
Right. It doesn't taste the same as maybe the original one that my mother-in-law made.
So it's yours.
But it's mine. And the pride that I feel in saying that, it's immense. Like, I just go, it doesn't matter if this business, is done in 5 years or whatever. I built this. I created this. And I didn't do it just because I wanted a job. I wanted a brand. I wanted impact in the community. I wanted it to align with all my philosophies and build relationships. And, awesome. the tagline we have now is bite into goodness, because we've got these bites, and yes, they're delicious, but when you're supporting me and my business, I'm out there supporting other small community members and nonprofits and other businesses as a mentor and a support. And I love hearing other businesses doing that for one another. It's about the collaboration for me.
That's amazing.
And and following that instinct, because that's probably why I'm not in every single street store on the corner. Like, that's probably why I'm not as big as maybe I think I want to be, because I'm just careful about who I connect with, who I align with. And that's important to me. Yeah.
You aren't on every corner. Careful how you describe where you are.
I know. I'm like, how is that going to sound?
My goal in 2023 is to be on every corner with my crack.
With my crack, my family-sized crack.
My family-sized bag of crack. Awesome. Trisha, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm gonna wrap it up there, and we'll get this video on YouTube. It's been so nice talking to you, and I'm glad that we had this chance to do it face to face.
Me too.
And I wish you all the best in 2022 with Eat My Shortbread.
Well, thank you. And I just wanted to say, the work that you do, I love the fact that you put volunteer organizer, because it really, but I know this is because you are doing this out of your passion for business and small business and helping other people and their brands. And it doesn't go unseen. It doesn't go unappreciated. So it's been a boon for me and my business. And of course, I tell everybody about it. And I'm happy. I'm happy to be a part of it. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that comment. I started doing that mostly so that people wouldn't bug me if something went wrong.
Right. I'm just a volunteer.
I'm just a volunteer. Let me talk to the important higher ups. And
let me get you the manager.
Yeah, I'll get you the manager. Awesome. Okay, well, have a great Family Day weekend, and thanks again for being on the video.
All right. It's my pleasure. Take care.
Take care.
You can order it on the website, but I do sell a family size bag of crack.